wanted to run through all of the corrections from that PDF document that I put up on Thursday for you to complete between Thursday and Friday. And I've got a couple of bits of feedback from people saying they were having a bit of or a few issues with a couple of them, so I'm gonna run through the whole thing here. I might have to do it in 2 parts if it takes too long, so I will stop it and I'll start again. So this is question 1 from the PDF document. As I said, it has it says the letter J stands for Jake's age in years, and it's asking to fill in the table writing an algebraic term in terms of J. So when it says in terms of J, like it does there, okay, all of my answers here should have J in them in some way, shape or form, okay? So they should all have J. And it says to match the description. 2 have already been filled in for you. So you can see Jake's age now is the letter J. That's fine. In 2 years' time, he's going to be 2 years older than he is now. So they've added 2. Nice and straightforward. So the next one, Jake's age in 5 years' time. In 2 years' time, I added 2. So in 5 years' time, I add 5. Nice and simple, okay? Jake's age 4 years ago. So that's 4 years previously. So again, if you're stuck on these, make up an age. Imagine Jake was 10, all right? And he says Jake's age in 2 years' time would be 12. Jake's age in 5 years' time would be 15 because we're adding 2 and we're adding 5. So if he was 10, 4 years ago, he would be 6. So if he's 10 now, 4 years ago, he would have been 6. So what have I done to get from 10 to 6? I've subtracted 4. So all I got to do is say J minus 4. Nice and simple, okay? The next one then, twice Jake's age. As I said, think about what's happening here. Imagine J was 10, as we said. If J is 10, twice his age would be 20. So what have I done from 10 to get to 20? I've multiplied it by 2. So when I'm multiplying a letter, I do 2 times J. So I can write that in there, 2J. Nice and simple. And then finally, 1/3 of Jake's age. So when I get 1/3 of something, what do? I divide it by 3, okay? So in this case, it was going to be J over 3, and I've put it kind of sideways because I can't get the I can't get it into the box, but you can imagine J divided by 3. Now, as we said, remember, we were using the example that J was equal to 10, or J was 10 years old. So if I write that again over here, if J is 10 years old, what I can say is 1/3 of Jake's age would be his age over 3, wouldn't it? So it's J divided by 3, or J over 3. So that's what I've put into that bottom box there, okay? So that's part A done. Part B says to solve the equation. Nice and simple. I've got 5m plus 2 is equal to 2m plus 35. So what I want to know what m is. So at the end, I want to have m equals a number. So I'm going to have that. And we are going to bring the m's to the left-hand side and the numbers to the right-hand side. So I end up with 5m minus 2m, because when I bring that 2m over, it becomes a minus, is equal to 35. That was over there already, and I'm moving this plus 2. It's going to become a minus 2. So we've got then 5m minus 2m gives me 3m is equal to 33, because 35 minus 2 is 33. And to figure that out, then I bring this 3 over. It's multiplying by m. So when I bring it over, it's going to become a divide. So I'm then left with m is equal to 33. And that's going to be divided by 3. Okay? Because that 3 was multiplying. When I brought it over, it becomes a divide. So m in this case is 11. Okay, so that's question 1 all done. Question 2. Before I start this one, as I said, you can go back to these, lads. If you pause and you rewind the video, you can go back, you can look at it again, you can run through the full explanation, pause it wherever you need to make sure that we're clear on what's happening. Alright? The next one, question 11. Solve the equation, nice and simple. I want to solve for x. So again, I'm bringing x's over here. I'm bringing numbers over there. So I want to have, I'm going to have 5x. The 3x on the right hand side is coming over to the left hand side, so that becomes minus 3x is equal to 2 is over there already, and I'm bringing that minus 10 over, it becomes a plus 10. 5x minus 3x is 2x is equal to 2 plus 10, which is 12, and then I can say that x is equal to 12 over 2, which is 6. Remember, the 2 is multiplying here. When I bring it over, it becomes a divide, and 12 over 2 gives me 6. Nice and straightforward. We've done lots and lots of those. Part B here, John says that x equals 4 as a solution. Show that he is correct. Okay, now you can see that that's in bold. Show that John is correct. So it's telling you what it is. It's telling you what x is. All you got to do is substitute in your x value, and when I pop it in here and here, I should end up with 0 as my answer. If I don't, I've done it wrong. It's telling me to show that he's correct. So if I do that and it doesn't equal to 0, I've made a mistake somewhere. Okay, so I'm substituting in x for 4. So instead of x squared, that's going to become 4 squared minus 2 by 4 minus 8 is equal to 0. So 4 squared is equal to 16. Minus 2 times 4 is minus 8. And I minus another 8. And that in turn does equal to 0. Because 16 minus 8 is 8. And 8 minus 8 is 0. So I have shown that I'm correct. So I'm fully done. Question 3. Find the values of the following expressions if a is equal to 4 and b is equal to minus 1. So I'm substituting a for 4. And let's go back, let's colour these in properly. So a is 4, yeah? So anywhere I see a, I'm putting in a value of 4. Anywhere I see b, I'm putting in minus 1. So you can see I've got a, B, B, B. Okay, so I'm just putting in the values that I've given you regardless. Wherever I see those letters, it gives you the space to do it in the first two. So A is 4, so I'm going to pop that in there. And 3 is minus 1. B is minus 1, so I'll pop that in there. And then I solve. Okay, so 2 times 4 gives me 8. Plus 3 by minus 1 gives me minus 3. Because the signs are different, my answer is minus. 3 times 1 gives me 3. And then I take away 2 as well. So I've done this bracket, I've got my answer. I've done this bracket, I've got my answer. And I'm carrying across the minus 2. And then I'm just going to get my answer for that. 8 minus 3 is 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. Done. Again, same thing, I'm just filling in all my values. A is 4. B is minus 1. So I substitute in, I do each part. 4 squared is 16. Minus 1 squared is plus 1. Okay, so think about it. I'm doing minus 1 squared is minus 1 by minus 1. So minus by minus gives me plus, and 1 times 1 gives me 1. So that's why I've got plus 1 in there. And then I add 4 again, because I'm just carrying that over. So 16 plus 1 is 17. 17 plus 4 is 21. And we're done. Finally, in this part, I've got a plus 2b over 2. So again, I fill in what I have. A is 4 plus 2b, because b is minus 1, and that's all over 2. Okay, so I've just filled in my numbers for my letters. So that's going to become 4, and I've got plus 2 multiplied by minus 1 here, and that's going to become minus 2. Plus by minus gives me minus, and 2 times 1 gives me 2. So I've got 4 minus 2 over 2. I don't want to confuse anyone there, I'll get rid of those. And so I've got 4 minus 2 over 2. 4 minus 2 on top of the line gives me 2 over 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that's my answer there. And then last part on this question. Multiply x plus 4 by x minus 6. I've got two sets of brackets beside one another. So we remember what we do. We split the brackets. I take the first part, I multiply it by everything in the second. I take the second part, I multiply it by everything in the second. Remember, the signs have to stick with the letter or the number that they are in front of. So I've got x is going to multiply by the whole of the second bracket. And then I've got the plus 4. And look, I've got that plus in there. I do not forget that. That has to stay there, okay? Plus 4 by x minus 6. Now that I have it, I've got everything in the first bracket, the x and the plus 4 are both multiplying by the second part. So everything in the original question is multiplying by what I wanted to. So each part is multiplying. And I've got, let's just underline those, okay? So I've got everything in the first bracket multiplying by everything in the second bracket. So I'm happy. So x by x, again, I can put in my little curves there to show you what I'm multiplying. X by x gives me x squared. X by minus 6, again, this is a plus x. If it's no sign in front of it, I can take it as positive. So it's plus by minus will give me minus, and x by 6 gives me 6x. And then I do the second set of brackets, or the second bracket with the plus 4. Plus by plus gives me plus, 4 by x gives me 4x, and plus by minus gives me minus, 4 by 6 gives me 24. Okay, so now all the multiplication is done. All I got to do is put together terms that I can. There's no other x squareds, so they're staying as they are. I have minus 6x plus 4x. So minus 6 plus 4 gives me minus 2x. Minus 2x. And then minus 24 is on its own. No other numbers, so I can just carry that down. Alright. So that's question 3 done. I'll do question 4 and then we'll stop it and we'll break it up from here. So, same ideas, always the same. Find the value of this when x is 4 and y is 7. Okay, so let's colour them again. X is 4, y is 7. So I'm filling in 7 for y, I'm filling in 4 for x. So 2 by 4 plus 3 by 7. I've substituted in everything that I wanted to. So now I'll just put together what I can. 2 times 4 gives me 8. 3 times 7 gives me 21. And then I add them together to get 29. Done and dusted. And then last one on these, solve the equation. Okay, so I want to know what x is. I'm looking for that. So I'm going to keep that on the left hand side. And I want my answer to be x equals a number at the end, don't I? So I've got 6x minus 4 is equal to 26. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that minus 4 over here. So I have 6x is going to be left on its own on the left hand side. I bring the minus 4 over. It becomes plus 4. And then I've got 6x is equal to 30. Because 26 plus 4 gives me 30. And then to finish that off, I'm going to bring that 6 over here. Remember, the 6 is multiplying by the x. So when I bring it over, it becomes a divide. So x is equal to 30 over 6. And 30 over 6 is 5. So 30 divided by 6 is 5. So I can say that x is equal to 5. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. And I'll do 5, 6, 7 in a separate video. Thank you.